Right, thank you so much for staying with us here on Sunrise. So, today's Money Masterclass, brought to you by JN Bank, focuses on a parenting must. How to talk money with your kids. And of course, we can always bank on Carlton for the best advice. So good morning, Sir Carlton.
Good morning. You can also bank on me by giving some money to put in the bank as well. So if you want to start investing,
bank with him,
bank with me, definitely.
And bank on him.
And bank on me this morning.
Right.
I hope you're both doing well.
Give thanks.
Give thanks. Wonderful. So this week, Friday, I think it's Child's Day. I know the National Parenting and Child's Association that came here earlier this month encouraged us as parents to this Friday celebrate our children. Just so we celebrate moms and dads, a gift, do a treating this Friday. So I want to encourage all the parents, all those who are listening, just to remind them that this Friday, our children will be centered and focusing on them this Friday. So celebrate them with whatever you may have, financially or otherwise. Make sure you celebrate the children. And speaking of which, we want to talk about how it is that you can involve them in money talk. But we have a video, I think, of a Sunrise who sent in a question. Let's hear the question this morning to see what's coming up.
Hi, Carlton. How involved should children really be in money matters of the home? Should they help out with monthly budgets or know when things are tight? Some say it's teaching responsibility. Others say it's too much for young minds. Let me know.
All right, I wonder, what do we think? How involved should our children be in the money conversations? Should we involve them too early? There are a few school of thoughts that will say, let kids be kids. Let them enjoy themselves being kids without letting them know that things are actually tight. You have some who will say they need to know so they can behave accordingly. And don't embarrass me because I don't have it. And we need to find that nice balance. I don't know, what are your thoughts? How soon you should involve them, especially in the tight money conversations? What are your thoughts before I jump into it?
I personally believe in transparency, and I think that you don't have to divulge too much, but I believe in being able to say, you know, I know that, you know, we would normally do so and so, but right now we can't do it because money is a bit tight, and we have to figure out how we're going to do this until so and so is sorted. I think it gives them a reality check that we have to be mindful of how money is spent, and it also gives them a reality check that we can't always do what we typically do because sometimes life changes.
Dennis, your thoughts, do you think?
I think, like most things, we need to find age-appropriate ways of teaching the principles without overexposing the child. So there are certain, I think that I feel like we need to be shielded from the adult world. I mean, I grew up and I didn't have a concept of, are we poor, are we rich? I mean, you know, but you learned certain financial principles. And a lot of the things that we were talking about the other day from Mother's Day, you learn these principles without feeling like, you know, are we, you know? I mean, I know, I've heard my son communicate to suggest that we're rich, right? But I also know he doesn't understand what rich is. But like, but teach him principles, teach him limits. And I think that goes a long way.
And I both agree. I agree with both principles that you guys have mentioned. But let's look at when should we involve them in what, and what is maybe a basic principle, age appropriateness. Between the ages of 5 and 8. So it is recommended that you start introducing them maybe at age 5. Between age 5 and 8, you start with basic concept, needs versus wants. What is, you know, what is something that you need to have now, or just you don't really need it right now. You look at maybe spending versus saving, how it is that you spend, hold back some of the money, that kind of concept between that early age, so your children can be aware. Even if things are tight during that time period, the children, I don't think you need to say, we're poor, we're suffering. You find age-appropriate ways in communicating this. Then it's mentioned that maybe when he was younger, you don't know if you're rich or you're poor. Looking back now, I know that I was poor growing up, but at that point in time, did I know? Absolutely not.
No.
You have days when you come home, there's no dinner, but mom will come and say, we're going to fry some dumpling, but how she say at the end of the year, so excited about the dumpling. But maybe she only had flour at that point in time. But as a child at 5 and 6 and 7, oh my God, we're so excited, can I get the big dumpling and a cup of tea, and that was, I was so excited about dumpling and tea. But at that point, it was age appropriate for me to understand and move forward. Between ages 9 and 12, you introduce more complex concepts like budgeting, earning. You have to work to get money. So you don't come across with a false sense of that money grew on tree. That money you can't go pick up. Go to the ATM and money is automatically coming out of the ATM. Because in my earlier days, my daughter would say, I do not have any money right now.
Go to the ATM.
Go to the ATM.
Yes.
Maybe think there's an unlimited source that's coming through the ATM. But at that age now, you start to let them know you have to work to get money. It is not free out there. And you want to start encouraging your children with that. By the age 30 now, you have to fully immerse them. Whether we think that it is inappropriate in how it is done or said, now's the time you have to be extremely frank about it. You have to know, ensure that you let them take on responsibility for themselves. Yendi said something on Monday and I chuckled, but it's so true. She said she gives Izzy her lunch money from Monday, everything for the week, and budget it out. And at this age, you have to do that now.
And that started with high school, yeah.
Start with, right when you're going into high school, 13, age 12, 13, thereabout, your children must be fully immersed. They must take responsibility for their money, take responsibility for their bills if they have something to come from there, if they want it, and they have the means to save for it, let them do that. Some person may not agree, but from age 16, when I started to work, my mother would say, well, you're going to take on a part of this bill, because you're now working. So at 16, but I'm so glad, Yendi and Dennis, because when I became a full adult, bills don't faze me. Because I know that an appreciation that I can't open the fridge and stare in it. Because as a child, I was just, I'm still in the fridge now. And I can't understand my mother saying, close the fridge, close the refrigerator. But no, as an adult, I want to be my children, lock my fridge door. Open the fridge because I have an appreciation.
Turn off the lights.
Turn off the light. Listen to me, I'm the light police. Turn off the light. Turn off the light. Yeah. But because you started to fully immerse your children from this age with the conversation, you are now able to reap the benefit when you are an adult. Nothing fazes you now because you were introduced. Let them take responsibility, as I mentioned, for their own finances as well. So let them start with a little partner if you're able to. Let them start putting the money towards a particular goal that they have, because it will be something that they will appreciate you for when they are much older. I have some quick tips. Have family financial discussions. Make it be a family thing sometimes. Do not just pass down the law, I said right here, when it comes to family decisions. So I know we may not have it now, and it is okay as a parent to say, we don't have it, and that is it. But be transparent with your children. We do not have it because, or we have it because of. I'm working 2 jobs, so we're able to afford this. So when they see the sacrifice, they will appreciate the outcome a little bit more. But I know sometimes people will just pass down the law. No, because I said so. And that's appropriate sometimes. When it comes to the financial side of things, if we allow them to understand, it will be a little bit better. Use real life examples. So if you go to the grocery, let them know. You see how expensive grocery is. Rice last year costed this amount of money, now it costs this. You can't also waste the food. When they see the value tied to something in real life, sometimes when they're in this age group especially, they can now start being more responsible with what's happening in the house. And also involve the children in goal setting. You know, let them be aware that this is what we want to achieve as a family, so we won't be able to do X or to do Y. I recall maybe about 3 or 4 years ago, we were doing a major investment as a family, but we're used to going on a lot of vacations. We're used to going, you're going here, you're going there, you're going everywhere. So my daughter was accustomed to 2 or 3 times a particular lifestyle. We're going into taking a big investment now as a family. In her head, she's going to want to...
I don't care. I don't care.
My wife and I said, no, we're going to be doing this. She was about in this age group, 5 to 8. But we had to have that discussion. Yes. We're going to be doing this. As a result, we will not be able to take on bam, bam, bam. Maybe for that year or 2.
But at the end, you will be able to get this.
So no, she can
delay gratification.
Right. She can now map that I am going to hold out now. She never even understand, but at the end of this, I'm going to reap this. And that's the principle that when you teach your children from this age,
100%.
It will impact their lives so much that when I get older, I can miss out now, but there'll be no fear of missing out because I'm going to get this in the end. 100%. So there are so many principles that will be translated to your children when you're honest, when you're open, when you're transparent with your children about money.
I'll share something with you. So when Izzy was going back to school, obviously, you know, you do your back to school shopping, the pens, the pencils, the this, the right? And she was with me in picking out all of these things, right? This is school, the school starts September morning, this is July, early. Then here comes September. she wants some specific pens because something has piqued her interest on socials. And she's like, oh, these pens apparently write really cool and I want these pens and da-da-da-da-da. So she comes to me and she says, Mommy, can I have these pens? Because da-da-da. And I know I don't have the pens, but... And I said, no. I said, you have pens. We're not getting additional pens. Do you know what Izzy did? In a month's time, she came to me and she said, Mommy, I saved up some of my lunch money. She was like, can I buy the pens for myself? And I said, no problem.
Nice.
Yes, you can. Because I'm not buying no more pens. You have a pen. But she wants a specific pen, and her motivation was, okay, I know that I can buy the pens, but I'm going to have to save up to do this, because this is not in my mother's budget. Because she said no. And that was her own initiative.
Nice.
That, in those moments, you kind of go, all right, you get it.
You feel good.
You get it.
Yeah. So
those
important.
Conversations are very important.
Yeah, and it makes an impact. Yeah,
sure.
So parents, and I hope we answered the Sunrise viewers' question this morning, and I hope those who are watching online as well can learn something from it, you know, and can pass it down to their children and to be impacted, because that's what we do here on Money Masterclass. And big up Nita this morning, it's his birthday, and Nita said this morning, Carlton, you talk about money, walk with some money for my birthday. I'm like, Nita, I talk on the Money Masterclass. I give the tips and the tricks. You don't give a fisherman fish, you teach him
how to fish.
Nita, for your birthday, I'm teaching you this morning how to fish. Big up yourself, Nita, happy birthday.
All right, thank you very much. That was Carlton giving us the tools to raise money smart. Picking them from early.
And teach them how to fish.
All right. Money Masterclass is brought to you by JN Bank, and we invite you to keep sending in your money questions. All right, up next, we're going to be talking about Mother's Day meltdown that has social media divided. This one is very interesting. You don't want to miss it. It's a mic check after these.